All right, so take a comfortable seat. I am sitting on a block this evening. I need a little bit more ease for myself in tonight's practice. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit kneeling, you can sit legs straight out, whatever feels best to you. As I've just said, I do encourage you to sit up on a block or some blankets or even a pillow to give you some ease in your hips, your knees, and your low back. And then once you have found yourself a comfortable seat, sit up tall. Line up your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. Eyes closed or gaze softly turned down. And bring your awareness to your breath. Focus on your inhale and your exhale. With each inhale, feel yourself more present now in the space you currently occupy. With each exhale, feel your body beginning to soften on the inside. With each inhale, feel yourself sit up a little taller and a little bit stronger. With each exhale, feel your body beginning to release tension, stress, any worry, any anxiety. Don't worry about trying to let it all go at once. Just use one exhale at a time to slowly begin to let that energy go. Take a moment to not only notice your breath, but turn your attention to your body and notice how your body feels. Notice any areas of tension, any place you might be gripping or holding on. And with your exhale, once again, begin to use that exhale to loosen and release those spots. Now bring your palms together in front of your chest. Lift your chest to meet your thumbs. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Make the back of your neck long. Keep the front of your throat open and clear. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale fully, open mouth. Again, inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Once more, inhale deeply. And exhale fully. Bow your chin toward your chest. Release your hands to your thighs. Gently open your eyes, lift your chin. Welcome back, everybody. Come on to hands and knees, please. All right, to start, bring your big toes together to touch. Separate your knees, mat width apart. Shift your hips back into a child's pose. For our first child's pose, I want you to relax your effort. Relax your forehead all the way down on your mat or on a block. Or you can cross your forearms and rest your forehead there. Whatever feels like you can release the most amount of tension in your body. No effort at all in this child's pose. Just let your body begin to settle in to today's practice. Maintain awareness of your breath throughout tonight's practice. It will help you to relax. All right, stretch your arms straight and strong out in front of you. Spread your fingertips wide. Press your fingertips down and forward so much that your palms lift up. Your arms lift up away from the mat. Ears between your upper arms and reach your top of your head forward. Make your spine long. On your next inhale, round forward and come back into a table pose. And now in this table pose, you have some options as to what to do with your hands. You can keep your fingertips forward. You could turn your fingertips out to the side or turn them all the way around so that they face your knees. Pick one. The more you turn your fingertips, the greater the stretch you'll have in your wrists. Make sure your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, not in too close. There you go. Make sure your knees are directly under your hips. Straighten your right leg back behind you, toes down on the mat. Shift your weight back slightly so you get a little stretch in your calves. You could rock it a little bit if you like, whichever you prefer. Keep your low waist lifted by tightening your low abdomen, shoulders away from your ears. All right, bring your right knee back down. Tuck your toes behind you. Walk your hands back. Sit back on your heels. If this is too much stretch happening in the toes, because that can happen, then just come up to full kneeling. That way you'll still get the stretch in your toes with a little less intensity. Bring your palms together in front of your chest. Interlace your fingers the way you wouldn't ordinarily do it, the way that's going to feel super weird, like you're holding somebody else's hand, and make circles with your fists. All right, stop and center and go in the opposite direction. Stop and center, give your hands a shake. And now you still have those same three options with your fingertips. Pick one, doesn't matter what you did the first time. Pick whatever you like. Okay, shoulders directly over your wrists, fingers spread wide, knees under your hips, low abdomen tight. And straighten your left leg back behind you. Keep your hips parallel. Get that stretch in your calf on the opposite side. Now lower the left knee back down. Untuck your toes if you have them tucked right now. Tops of your feet down on your mat. Walk your hands back to sit back on your heels again. Get the stretch on the opposite side of your feet and shins this time. If it's too much stretch, too intense for you, come up to full kneeling. Totally cool. Here again, bring your palms together in front of your chest. Interlace your fingers in a way that feels good for you. Turn your palms out, arms all the way overhead. Now here, tighten your upper abdomen and move your low ribs back. Move your shoulders back so that they're over your hips. Ears between your upper arms as much as possible. I want your arms as straight as you can get them. Lift your thumb side of your hand a little higher. And just notice how your body is feeling. Notice the sensations and keep awareness of your breath. And now carefully release your hands all the way down. Come back into your table pose. Once you get there, step back to plank pose. Hips as high as your shoulders, arms straight and strong, shoulders directly over your wrists. Abdomen tight, and hips up and back to down dog. Take whatever kind of movement you like in down dog. Ears between your upper arms. Keep lifting your hips and tailbone way up toward your ceiling. You can always put a bend in your knees if that feels good for you. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart and not wider. And now bend your knees a lot and walk your feet forward to meet your hands in forward fold. You can always put your knees down and meet us in forward fold at the front of your mat. Here's a nice place for blocks if you have them. Put a little bend in your knees in forward fold. Think about there being a connection between your abdomen and your thighs. So bend your knees as much as you need for that to happen. And then if maybe bend your knees even more to make sure all 10 of your fingertips are down on your blocks or the floor or your feet. Shift your weight slightly forward so you can feel the weight closer to the balls of your feet. Relax your neck in forward fold. And now step your right foot back into a lunge. Scoot your right toes back a little bit more and then lower your right knee, the top of your right foot down onto your mat. Make sure your hands are beneath your shoulders and make sure that your front knee is directly over your ankle. Lift your chest high and move your hips down and forward a bit. Carefully shift your hips back to bring your front leg toward being straight. If you're using blocks, bring those back so your hands are beneath your shoulders. You have some options with your toes and your foot. If you flex your foot and the front leg, you'll get more stretch in your hamstrings, calves. If you lower your foot and toes, you'll still get the stretch in the hamstring, but you'll get more stretch across the top of your foot and your shin. Maybe try a little of both. It's totally okay if you have a bend in that front knee. If you haven't already, find some stillness in this pose with your toes up or down. Keep pressing your hips back and reaching your collarbones forward. If your toes are up, lower your front foot. Walk your hands forward to tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Hold that lunge pose for 3, 2, 1. Step forward to forward fold. As you're ready, step your left foot back into your lunge. Scoot your toes back a little bit more. Lower the left knee and the top of the left foot for the second side of this pose. These two poses, rather. Once you get your front knee directly over your ankle and your knee behind your hip on the opposite side, tilt your hips down and forward just a bit more. Make sure your hands are beneath your shoulders. Now walk your hands back, bringing that front leg toward being straight once again. Same options, toes up or down. You might start with the straight leg. You might lower the toes. You might rock back and forth. Your choice. If you haven't already, find some stillness in this pose with your toes up or down. And just notice the sensations you feel and where you feel them. And then lower your toes if you have them up. Walk your hands forward to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes to lift your back knee and hold that lunge pose for 3, 2, 1. Step forward to forward fold. Step your right foot back into that lunge again. And then this time, turn your back heel down, the right foot, so your whole right foot is touching the floor. And then walk your hands back or maybe up your leg, bringing that front leg toward being straight, keeping your shoulders square and your hips square. So maybe you're here. Maybe your hands are down around your ankle. Maybe your hands are on blocks or down on the floor. Whichever feels best to you. Try to keep your spine long as opposed to rounding nose towards your knee. Keep your spine long and press your hips back. Okay, put a bend in that front knee. Press down on the inner edge of your front foot, the outer edge of the back foot, and reach your arms all the way overhead. Maybe bring your palms together. Just like in those first few lunge style poses that we did, make sure your front knee is either directly over your ankle or behind your ankle. Make the back leg super straight and strong, but don't lock the knee. Here's the difference. Strong leg, lock knee. Don't do that one. All right, bend that front knee, hands down around your front foot. Lift your back heel and step forward to forward fold. All right, step the left foot back into your lunge. And turn the whole back heel down. And then slowly, carefully work towards straightening that front leg once again. Here again, you can have your hands on your thigh with a strong, long spine, hands to your shin, your ankle, a block, blocks, plural, or the floor. All right, put a bend in your front knee. Press down on the inner edge of your front foot, the outer edge of your back foot. Lift your arms all the way overhead. Maybe palms together or not. Press down on the outer edge of the back foot, the inner edge of the front foot. That'll help you keep the weight even between your feet. All right, hands down around your front foot. Lift your back heel and step forward to forward fold. Take as many steps as you need to get there. All right, bring your hands to your hips. Round your shoulders back and lift your chin. Tighten your abdomen. Press down on the inner edges of your feet. Inhale and stand all the way up. Exhale once you get there. That'll help you from feeling dizzy. If you're not already, turn to face the long side of your mat. If you have a block, it might be very helpful with this pose. If not, that's okay too. You'll still be able to try it. Now, facing the long side of your mat, walk all the way to the right side of your mat with your block in your left hand. Okay? Take a wide step, probably about halfway up your mat. Keep your chest high. Good. Turn your front toes, the toes on your left side, toward the top edge of your mat. Put a bend in your knee and set your block just forward of where your shoulders would be. Then shift your weight forward and lift your right leg. You could stay with your chest turned down, or you could begin to open your chest for half moon pose. Any place you stop along the way is totally cool. Maybe even lift the right arm up toward the ceiling. And put a bend in your standing leg and step all the way down. Step your feet together in the middle of your mat. Give it a shake, because that was hard. All right, go all the way to the left side of your mat. Lock in your right hand. Here again, step wide, halfway up your mat. Turn your right toes to face the top edge of your mat. Place your block down forward of where your shoulders would land. Shift your weight forward. You could start by keeping the left toes down, chest turned down. You want to add on, then lift that left leg and flex your left foot. You can totally keep a bend in the standing knee. Stay here or open your chest. Maybe lift that left arm up toward the ceiling. Good job. All right, put a bend in that standing knee. Step all the way down. Step back. Step to the middle of your mat and give us a shake. Now, take a wide stance on your mat. You can stand in the middle, take a wide stance. You could or could not use a block on this pose. It's totally up to you. Bring your arms up to parallel. Keep your shoulders and your hips square, but turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Now reach to the right till you can't reach any further, and place your hand down on your foot, your ankle, your mat, or a block. And then reach the top arm way up toward the ceiling. You're working toward keeping your shoulders stacked, legs straight and strong. Tighten your thighs. Inhale to stand all the way back up. You can release your arms down and give them a break. Turn your right toes back to parallel with the left. And then turn your left toes out 90 degrees. Here again, keeping your shoulders and your hips square. Arms up to parallel. Reach to the left. You can't reach any further. Place your hand down on your foot, your ankle, your shin, or a block, or maybe even the mat. Stacking the shoulders. Press your hips a little bit more forward. Everybody, lean the back of your head rather, a little bit further back. Take your top shoulder with you. There you go. And breathe. You have one more full breath here. All right, tighten your thighs. Inhale to come all the way back up. Release your arms down. Parallel your feet. You can heel, toe, hop, skip, jump your feet back together, however you choose. Give it a shake. And then turn to face the front of your mat once again. Come to the top of your mat and release down to forward fold. From this forward fold, step your right foot back into a lunge again. Scoot your toes back, lower your right knee, top of your right foot. Hands back beneath your shoulders. And here again, you can stay right here. If you'd like to add a little something to this pose, you can add the quad stretch. You can bend the right knee and flex the right foot. That'll give you some stretch. If you'd like a little bit more, then clasp your right foot or right ankle and bring it in toward your hips. Release the quad stretch if you have that. Hands down around your front foot. Tighten your abdomen a lot. Lift your left foot and just bring it back so your knees are down on the mat. Tighten your abdomen a lot. Lift your right knee to step your right foot forward between your hands. Tighten your abdomen to help you lift. Here again, you can stay right here, tilting your hips down and forward. Or you can add the quad stretch. You can start by just bending the left knee and flexing the foot. If you'd like to add on, clasp your left foot or ankle. Same hand, same foot. You can release the quad stretch if you have that on this side. Lower your left foot back down carefully. Tighten your abdomen a lot to lift that right knee and step your right knee back. Okay. Same thing on the left side again. Tighten your abdomen a lot to lift your left foot forward. Scoot your right knee back a little bit more. Walk your hands to the inside of your front foot and lower down onto your forearms or your blocks. If you'd like a little bit more opening on the inner edge of your left thigh, then turn your toes out a little bit and allow your knee to lay out to the side. You could even be on the outer edge of your left foot. You could relax your neck here if that feels good for you. All right, come back up onto your hands. Hands around your front foot. Scoot that right knee in a little, just to give you a little bit more ease. Tighten your abdomen a lot. Lift your left foot. Step back. Same thing, right side. Tighten your abdomen a lot. Bend your right knee to step your right foot forward. Tuck your back toes to scoot your back knee back a little bit more. Hands to the inside of your front foot. And lower down onto your forearms. A block. You can always allow that right knee to lay out to the side a little or a lot, whatever feels best to you. Come back up onto your hands if you've lowered down. Hands around your front foot. Scoot your back knee in a little. Tighten your abdomen a lot to bring your right knee back. If you're using blocks right now, you'll want to bring your hands down onto your mat. And here, bring your right knee forward behind your right wrist. Scoot your left leg back so it's straight and strong behind you, pigeon pose. If you're using blocks, you can put a block underneath that right hip if that feels better for you. A little stability never hurts. Now walk your hands back a little to lift your chest high. You can stay right here, or you can walk your hands forward, fold forward, hands on your forehead, on your forearms, or on a block, or all the way down on your mat. Any place you stop along the way is totally cool. And now in this pigeon pose, if you haven't already, relax all of your effort. No effort in your legs, your hips, arms, or shoulders. If you have lowered down, fold it forward, bring your hands back beneath your shoulders to lift your torso. Walk your hands back beneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes to scoot your back knee in a little. And just slide that right knee back beneath your hips. All right, second side. Bring your left knee forward. Scoot the right leg back. Walk your hands back beneath your shoulders and lift your chest high to start. And then if you'd like, now's your time to fold forward if that felt good for you. Doesn't matter what you did on the first side, what feels good on this side. upright. Bring your hands back beneath your shoulders to lift your torso. Tuck your back toes to scoot your back knee in a little. And then just slide that left knee back. All right, come to a seat. Bring your right heel toward your left hip. And then bring your left heel towards your right hip. You're working towards stacking your knees on top of one another. Bring your arms up to shoulder height. Bring your right elbow under the left. You can hold on to your shoulders. You can bring the backs of your hands together or palms all the way together. Make sure to keep the weight even between your sit bones and flex both feet. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, but lift your elbows a little higher. Carefully release your arms. Give your shoulders a little shake. Carefully release your legs and switch sides. Left heel toward your right hip. Right heel toward the left hip. Here again, keep the weight even between your sit bones. If your right hip is lifted, put a blanket or a block under there. And sit up tall to start. Arms up to shoulder height. Left elbow under the right this time. Hold your shoulders, backs of your hands together or palms together. Lift your elbows, relax your shoulders, flex both feet. Keep your spine long, reaching the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Carefully unwrap your arms. Give your shoulders a little shake. Carefully release your legs and feet. And bring the bottoms of your feet together to touch. If you bring the heels of your feet close to your groin area, you will get more sensation on your inner thighs. If you move your feet away from you, you get more sensation on the outer thigh. You can also put a block in between your feet for even more sensation either way, and to give you some stability. So hold your ankles or your feet, your choice. Lift your chest between your upper arms to lift your chest high, shoulders down. Now, without using your elbows, use your inner thighs to press your knees down toward your mat. And then carefully release, relax your effort, and come to a cross-leg position with your right shin in front of the left. You can stay right here if you'd like. Move your feet as far underneath your knees as possible. If you'd like to add to this pose, bring your right shin on top of the left. Ankle over knee, knee over ankle, and flex both feet. If you feel like there's too much space between your knee and your foot, put a block, a blanket, something under there, or maybe even just your hands. You can stay right here. You want to add on, walk your hands forward, fold forward. You can even round your spine on this one. Do a little stretch in your low back. All right, walk your hands back to sit up tall. Carefully release your legs. You can use your hands to help you out. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Toes up, heels down, flex both feet. We'll take one breath right here. Inhale deeply and exhale fully. Switch sides. Left shin in front of the right to start. Move your feet as far underneath your knees as you can. You can always stay right here. You want to add on. Left shin in front, on top rather, of the right. Make sure your knee is directly under your ankle and your ankle is directly under your knee. That's the safest place to protect your knees, and flex both feet for the same reason, to protect your knee. Here again, you can stay right here if you'd like, or you can walk your hands forward and fold forward. I didn't warn you on the first side, but it is a really deep hip stretch. Might give you some relief in your low back too. This is great for sciatica. As you're ready, walk your hands back to sit up tall. Carefully release your legs out in front of you, toes up, heels down. One breath right here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, open mouth. All right, bend your knees and place your feet flat on your mat. Shift your weight back to just behind your sit bones. Lift your chest high. Bring your arms out in front of you. Tighten your abdomen a lot and roll your spine all the way down. Slowly. Once you get your head and shoulders down, relax your legs down. Relax your effort for a moment. And now bend your knees, feet flat to start. Move your arms out into a T. Palms up or down, your choice. Bring your knees up. Shins parallel to your mat and the ceiling. Flex your feet. Tighten your abdomen a lot. Lower your knees to your right. Totally cool for your knees and feet to come all the way down onto the floor or onto a block if that's too deep of a twist for you. If you would like more twist in your spine, then turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees. Okay, tighten your abdomen a lot. Bring your knees back to center. Here again, shins and parallel to the floor and the ceiling, feet flex. Turn your palms in the opposite direction where you have them now and lower your knees, shins, and feet to the left. You can look to the right if that felt good for you. Tighten your abdomen. Bring your knees and shins and feet back to center. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Hands or arms around your knees or your shins, or hold on behind your thighs. Bring your forehead, nose, or chin towards your knees. Flex your feet. Squeeze in a little bit tighter and point your toes. Lower your head and shoulders down. Lower your feet down onto your mat. And stretch your legs out in front of you. Separate your feet mat width apart or wider. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you slightly and do whatever feels good with your hands and your arms. Shavasana. Relax all of your effort. Relax your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your hips and pelvis, your low back and spine. Rest your entire torso, front and back. Relax your hands, arms, shoulders. Relax the back of your neck, your jaw, your tongue, your lips and cheeks, all the muscles around and behind your eyes. Rest your scalp from the base of your skull all the way around to the top of your eyebrows. And now just rest your entire body all together. And now bring your awareness back to your space. Feel your physical and mental presence right here, right now. Gently move your head from side to side as if to say no. Bring some gentle movements to your fingers and your toes, wrists and ankles, knees and elbows. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Roll on to whichever side feels good to you. And use the strength of your hands and your arms to press yourself all the way back up into a seat. Eyes closed or gaze softly turned down. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Take a moment to notice how you feel, to notice your breath, how your body feels. Maybe there's been a shift in your thoughts and therefore a shift in your emotions since we began tonight's practice. No judgment, no analysis is required of you. Just take a moment, a breath or two to notice you. And now, as you're ready, bring your palms together in front of your chest. Lift your chest to meet your thumbs. Relax your shoulders once again. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Again, inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Once more, inhale deeply. And exhale fully. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much for your practice tonight. Thank you very much for your rest and your moments of peace and calm. Namaste.